Hello and welcome to the 9 to 5 podcast. I am Tremaine, aka the 9 to 5 landlord.
And I'm Zena, aka Zena Dixon Inc.
And this episode will be called New Year, Same You. The reason why we are calling it this is because, as you know, we are approaching the new year. And around a time like now, you see all the statuses, 22, 2022, I see new houses, buildings, some. You're going to have $1 million in your checking account by sharing this, some. It's like, yo, there is work that has to go prior to this damn bell sounding and it being 2022.
Facts.
So what we're going to talk about today is why those that have aspires to change for the next year don't change in the next year. You want to go first?
Because it's such a pet peeve of mine. And I was looking at, I don't know if you follow Jason LA Boy, I think that's how you say his name, but he said, if I see a new year, new me post, you getting blocked. And I laughed so hard.
I got to unfollow you at least, man, for my peace.
Because I was on that same time. I was like, if I know you personally and you talk about new year, new me, and I know you haven't done anything new, I'm blocking you just for my own peace of mind. No, just kidding. But I know so many people that have always said, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. And years have gone by and nothing has changed. And I know that feeling because I've been there. I have been wanting to buy a property since my daughter was little, and I didn't for a myriad of reasons. But the biggest reason was not having enough knowledge, and two, not thinking that I could do that because from my own circle, my own family, I've never really seen people own property, like own a house. We always lived in apartments. Everybody in the family lived in apartments. So that wasn't like a commonality in my family. So it's just like, sometimes you can't put yourself in that situation if you don't see it, right? So that was one hurdle. And that's just with that generational curse thing that, we don't get the financial literacy to help us get to the next level. To the poverty mindset, just thinking that, I can't do it, woe is me. When, if you put the tools in place, you can do it. But because you don't have the example to follow, and two, you don't have the financial knowledge to get to the next level, you just settle for the life that you have. And I find that that's prevalent in a lot of relationships that I have. People just will settle for their situation. And then the third thing is, for me personally, I was like, I feel like I could buy a house, but can I buy a multifamily house? Can I buy a commercial property? Can I, buy, a storefront? I never thought that was possible until this year. And I'm just keeping it a buck. I never knew, because it just seemed like something that was so unfathomable to be able to do. But now it's like, wow, I have all this new knowledge. So yeah, I want to buy a laundromat. Yeah, I want to buy a commercial office property. Yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, I want to do that. And I know that it's possible because one, I've already done it. And two, I've gotten the knowledge to enable me to do it. So it's really frustrating to have like acquaintances that, have been trying to do something. They speak they give the words, but they never follow through with the actions. And it's so frustrating because you just want to shake their shoulders like, you could do this. I'm telling you exactly how to do this. But then they just let their fear just cripple them. They just cannot move forward because the fear of, what if I fail? What if it don't work out like it worked out for you? Or I don't know if people ever hit you with, well, that's different because Tremaine, you gonna go for yours and you know how to do this. And it's just like, nah, we all will have the same information. We all can do the same thing. It's just jumping off the porch, finally, just making the decision to do it.
I think it's for me, and I'll just share my personal experience. I think it's two things on one of those don't change when New Year start. One, you will really have a goal in mind. Like I might say, I'm going to be losing weight 2022, and I'll be eating cookies December 31st. Like, when that bell ring, it's all going. So it's like you have to start and build that momentum up prior to a damn bell ringing and it's saying 2022 on your phone. One.
Exactly.
Two, I believe that one great thing that people do is they envision a big goal for themselves for the big year, but they don't envision the finish line. Like you talking about getting in shape, thinking about the 6-pack. What about day 9? Where you just worked a long work day, you tired, you got cravings, and you don't want to go to the gym. What about that day? And I feel like a lot of times when people make these New Year's resolution or goals, they see the finish line, but you got to kind of see the intricate steps between in order to, build momentum to get to the finish line. And I feel like a lot of them don't because they dream so big, but they don't see the intricate steps between.
Facts. And it's so funny that you said about weight. I just gave up on that goal. Life has been so stressful. I'm just like, I'm gonna have this cookie and I'm gonna enjoy it. But this gonna be, something that I'm just not gonna add to my stress about. The other things that I feel like aren't subject to my emotional whims is easy for me to accomplish. So like you said, with working out, you work a long day, you get home, you got a new little one. So the little one needs attention. Your wife needs you to run some errands. And it's just like, oh, it's on my calendar that I need to go work out at 7, but I am beat. And it's just like, I'll do it tomorrow. That's an emotional thing that will curtail your plans. But when you say next year, I'm going to write an ebook, it's a different thing because it's just like, I could be writing that on my commute to work, just putting the notes in my phone or whatever. It's like an easier thing to accomplish because the emotional tax isn't there, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but.
Oh, that makes 100% sense. And I think for so long, we're trained to substitute the wrong things when we are having those kind of days, right? Like you will have a day where it's a long work day, you're tired, a tenant might have told you about prom, like, man, I'm gonna eat a cheeseburger, I'm gonna go to sleep. And it's like that's been like my behavior for the past couple, 20 some odd years. And it's like to kind of change that mentality, it's gonna take 90 days of just really discipline to really change the behavior.
Right.
But I have to know that before I go into it and I announce it to the world, hey, 2022, I'm doing this, and that. It's like you're not even subconscious of what comes with saying you're going to do that because now you got people watching. And now, like, where's the follow-up? Like, yeah, you announced the business, but where's the follow-up on the product?
Exactly. So how do you feel about, because I don't know if you're the same way, but I bought so many workout programs because I'm just like, I'm gonna get it together this month. But one, I've wasted money because I never even opened the app. Two, I'm just like, I'm already married, I don't need to get myself together or whatever. But this course, or I'm gonna focus on this course, I'm gonna focus on this podcast, I'm gonna focus on building my IG page, I'm gonna focus on building a business. I feel like those things that you feel that you're more in control, even though you are in control of your weight and what you eat, but I feel like those triggers are so much stronger when you're trying to say, lose 20 pounds or whatever, as opposed to, like working on a podcast. Like me and you, we're accountability partners at this point because it's like, okay, we set, on our calendar, we're going to bust out these 3 episodes. But after that's done, I might go have me some pasta. You might, go have you some burgers. It's just like the levels of the levels of discipline and the levels of application is different for different goals. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, some things I'm just like taking off my plate because I know I can't commit to it right now because my brain is somewhere else. So I gave up on the weight loss. I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Okay. So for me, it's 2 things. One, I got a son. And my son is not busting my ass in basketball until he's at least 16. That's just really what it is on one end. And the other end is I don't want to be fat and out of shape and be wealthy. That don't even look nice. Like you got all this money and you can't even, you know what I mean? You can't even run or you can't even do this. You got this property on 5 acres and you can't even walk it without running out of breath. And it's like, I ain't trying to be that, man. I was an athlete in school. So a lot of times in college, that was the period which is like, I kind of put that on the back burner, but it's like, by nature, I'm an athlete. Like been playing basketball since I was 3. So it's like,
right.
it's just in me to be in shape or want to be in shape. And it's like, that's kind of why I'm on, like, I want to do all this and that, and I want to maintain my health, which, most will be like, man, that's a lot. But it's like, I want to do a lot and be a lot. And I'm not going to be fat and rich. That's over with.
Okay, Tremaine, you have shamed me. I'm officially shamed.
Oh, no. I'm not trying to shame you. No disrespect at all. No disrespect at all. It's just that, that's why that's for me why I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just do and take what come with it, man. Like this drink I have right now, this is actually like part of a keto thing I'm on, where it kind of like slows down my metabolism. So I don't have those cravings as much. So it's like, if I miss a day where I don't work out, I'm not hungry to where I'm just eating mad stuff, because that really puts you down. If I miss a workout, I just miss a workout. I still didn't eat bad. So try it out before January 1st. So that way, by the time January 1st comes, at least I got some momentum. You know what I mean?
Right. I've been vegan for a few years, so that's helped me keep my weight down. But the stress of trying to accomplish certain things, it does make me snacky, and it's just like, this is so counterproductive to what I'm trying to do, right? But you're totally right. Like everything, I think it goes hand in hand, like, having good health, because if you don't have good health, ultimately you won't be able to enjoy the things that you've built, all the wealth and stuff like you said. So it does go hand in hand, but I'm just being honest, I'm not ready yet.
I get it, man. Listen, I get it. And, and I think it comes in different phases. Like once you're retired and you retire from your job, you might have an hour a day to really just devote to that. Right.
Right.
But it's like, for me personally, I work from home. My son takes 2-3 hour naps. So it's like, yeah, I can get a 30-minute workout in, but he's going to be right. One day and I might not have that luxury. So it's like, you got to just work based off your circumstances. And this is not a pod just talking about working out. We're just talking about having goals for the new year and just really trying to work through them diligently. So you actually look back at the December 31st of next year and be like, damn, I really accomplished it. That's kind of my favorite day of the year. That's my favorite day of the year, December 31st, because while you are looking ahead to the new year, you're able to look back and be like, damn, like last year, for you didn't have a building. It's like you got your first building. It's like, damn, you got turbo. Like, you got momentum going into the next year. You're not like, yo, when I see this new number, I'm gonna be a new me. And it's like, you've done nothing to position yourself to be a new you. So how can you expect for that?
Exactly. And that's key, to have something to reflect on what you've done, because sometimes I think when you're ambitious and you knock the things off your list that you wanted to achieve, you don't give yourself the credit that it took, the discipline that it took you to even get there. And I think for me, that's a big part of my personality. Like once I've done it, I'm on to the next thing, and I'm not giving myself credit for even slowing down enough to figure out that goal and to accomplish it. So I think that's why I put so much pressure on myself going into, the new year. Like, this is what I got to do. I got to do this in the first quarter. And, like you said, the things, that we've done, we should, take ownership and be like, wow, we killed that, because last year I didn't even have that goal to buy anything, besides some perfume, so it's just like, but the new year, new me thing, it's like a double-edged sword, because you want to go in with those positive thoughts, but like you said, if you haven't set the groundwork, it's just lip service, It's just like, oh, this is something cool to post on Instagram, new year, new me. It's like, okay, but what exactly is going to be new? What is new? So, but the other thing is just being realistic with your expectations of yourself. And that's why I know for the first of the year, I'm not starting a new diet. Maybe in March, maybe when the weather gets nicer, I'll be more inclined to get out there and work out and stuff, but it's cold and I'm gonna be in the Midwest, in next month. And from what you've told me, I'm not trying to go outside.
I know there, man. Uber Eats, download that now, DoorDash, all that, man. It's gonna be freezing. It's gonna be freezing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's nothing wrong with having expectations for you within the new year, but if you establish those new expectations November 25th, why are you waiting 45 days to act on it?
Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
start on it now. You know, you got a business that you want to start January 1st, start looking up your LLC now. Start looking to see what the costs are. Maybe you have everything booked and you announce it to everybody else January 1st after you've actually done it. Like us, for example, you know, we want to start a podcast. We could have been like, yo, let's wait till 2022 and we could say more stuff come in. But it's like, no, let's record it now and drop it on it. So it's like things you want to do, start working towards them now. Because after 5 years of saying new year, new me, you ain't changed, man. I don't believe you. What say you need more people, man.
Right. And the crazy thing is, the other thing that I wanted to say is being open to the possibility of things changing in a drastic way. Because just a month ago, doing podcasts was not even on my radar. When you presented it to me, and I was just like, we have our own podcast in the DMs, as much stuff that we talk about. So it was just a no-brainer to do it in a bigger way and make it public. So it wasn't even something that I was even looking into, but the opportunity was there. And I'm all about being open to the possibility. So it's just like, it's another thing, on our checklist that we didn't even have initially, but it's there. And like you said, we could have waited until next year to start, but it's like, no, let's get it going now. Like there's no time frame that you need to adhere to if you want to do something different and new, and taking away the excuse of, I got to wait until January 1st,
I said that before, man. I said, man, you're going to wait till January 1st to start something and everything you want to start is closed. Nothing is open New Year's Day. The gym is closed New Year's Day. So you will literally wait 45 days to start working out just to be ready to work out, and now the gym closed.
Right.
You didn't even start your goal. Your goal ain't even checked off because it's like, I want to work out every day. You can't. The gym's closed January 1st. Start now.
Exactly.
Start now. And you only got to be big steps, do little things, do research, see what's out there, see what it takes. Get a calendar, maybe write down what you want to do every day, one little small task, and build that momentum up. That's what it's really about. The momentum is what gives you confidence. Like you said, Zena bought her first building this year. That building, while it might not change her life, she sees the snowball effect if she keep doing it.
Right.
And that's what all it is, as far as taking those steps and just crossing out those tasks, man. Just start. Just start.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, once you do it, it's infectious. It's like, I got to do the next thing. It's like almost an addiction. And it's just like you get to a point where you're just like squirming in your pants because you're like, things just not happening fast enough. Like I wanted to refinance my building like 3 months ago, but the lender was like, no, you got to at least season it for 6 months. So I was just like, oh my God, what am I doing 6 months? Because, that was my strategy, or that is my strategy, to buy FHA, refinance, buy another one. So, that is that's the strategy for now until I get my capital up. And it's just like, oh my God, I gotta wait 6 months to do the next thing. But, it's cool because it allowed me to learn landlording. It allowed me to learn more about mortgage products. And like you said, it's the incremental thing. So I have like all of this new knowledge because I had to sit and wait for the next thing. In my case, buying this new building. So it's very true. Like you said, writing it down. I just got a new what's it called? Like a new planner. And the new thing that's in there is filming these podcasts with you. And that's like exciting to me because it's just like, wow, this wasn't even something on my radar, but now it's like, it's pushing me forward to bigger and better things in terms of in this space, us being, influential in this space and just, growing our brands, like just things that I never even considered, it's just spun off of, these baby steps. So it's really exciting. And then the other thing is, like you said, just writing things down, that's powerful in itself. Writing things down, like I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. In your mind, it's just like your subconscious works to that end. I don't know if you ever saw any like reading material about that, but they say when you write things down and there's repetition, it starts to solidify your subconscious, and your subconscious starts to work towards that end. So that's really powerful. But I want to know what your goals are for next year.
Oh man. Honestly, it's really to just grow the podcast following, of course, grow my social media following organically. I'm not buying followers. I only got like 5 DMs on that. Like, yo, go to 15K. I'm like, nah,
oh yeah.
nah, it's supposed to happen. I want to grow my following. I want to buy a couple more buildings. And honestly, if things turn out how they need to turn out, I want to be out of my job by the end of next year.
Really? That's dope.
Yeah, and I feel like I have the seeds planted in order to do so. It's just about manifesting it and producing more content, which will enable those things to really grow. Like, the courses, the teachings, the consulting, and all that kind of thing. So that's kind of my goals for next year. Really just amp everything up. I got my seeds planted. The podcast, that's a seed. The course, that's a seed. The content, that's another seed, because that's kind of the sales pitch of who I am. So it's kind of like, once those seeds grow and manifest into, what it needs to manifest into, I'm looking at my job a little skeptical, man.
That's dope. And for anybody out there, you got to get his course. If you are thinking about buying a property, you need his course about landlording, because he got some gems in there that I didn't even consider. And he tells stories so funny. So you're going to be laughing and learning when you go through his course. So you need to get that as soon as possible so you can have it in your arsenal, because when you decide to buy a building or a property, it comes at you fast. It seems like it's slow, but once the underwriters are done with everything, they be like, let's sign, let's get it done. And you don't want to be caught with your pants down, not being prepared.
You ain't trying to be driving off that lot with them keys. Like, all right, what I do now? I drive it. Are they there? So it's like, better have your stuff ready, man. And just from our experience, like I said, when I got my property, I thought I was gonna be able to get my property on my break, go there for 30 minutes, and then drive back and just go to work like nothing happened. And I know spending 4 hours going back and forth between places, getting documents, talking to people, answering questions, kissing babies, all that kind of stuff, man. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, my course is kind of a blueprint that kind of teach those that's just getting to the journey what to expect along the investing journey when you buy your first property while having a job.
Yep. And that's the crux of this podcast, to figure out ways to make it work until you don't have to work, right? So it's just like, we're going to give you the gems and the information on how to maintain your 9-to-5 while you're pursuing your other endeavors, whether it's starting a business, buying real estate, investments. We need to talk about investments like crypto and Bitcoin and all that stuff, because that is a huge area that we have particular interest, because it's going to be a huge wealth driver, and our community usually gets put out of that. So it's like a good opportunity. But yeah, for me, the podcast, growing my consulting business, with people learning how to buy their first multifamily. I actually even put on my in my planner that I want to go on morning talk shows and talk about how to buy your first multifamily and how important it is, especially for Black and Brown communities and women, because women, especially in those communities, they're more subject to poverty than any other group. So, my personal mission is to share that message with as many people as possible to, change your financial situation. And it's really important to me, coming from a single Black mother and her not having the things that she wanted because she just didn't have the knowledge. So just doing this with you has opened my mind to the possibility of other things. So, it's just been dope. So, I appreciate that.
Well, when December 31st, 2022 come around, what are you hoping to look back on the year and be like, okay, I took care of business? Like, what for you would be, okay, I did my thing this year, when you look back at 20.
Okay. So at the end of 2022, I want to say that, yes, I bought another 4-unit. I did my first rehab, my first flip, and that I've helped grow our podcast to at least 10,000 people, and that I've grown my own personal Instagram to at least 10,000, and that I've done 2 morning talk shows to bring awareness about multifamily ownership.
Dope. You know what? I did a podcast earlier, and I was talking to the guy, like, what's your ideal income? He's like, 10K a month. I'm like, what's up with 10K? Everybody says 10K is like their number. Like, yo, 10K. Even on Ash, want to make 10K? It's like, yo, 10K is just, I don't know what it is about 10K. It's like, you get 10K, your life is just, you doing it because you got 10K.
You know what? It's the practicality of me, and I'm just like, I want to say 100,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, so I'm gonna change my goal. I'm gonna change it to 100,000. So we're
100,000.
gonna grow this podcast to 100,000. We're gonna grow our pages to 100,000, and that's the goal.
That's a fact. So for anybody
listening, people, you need an accountability partner to keep you honest and to push you.
I know. I've just heard it so many times. Everybody's like, if I could just get 10K, and I just want to have 10K, and it's like, what's up with 10K? Like, is that like the wealth gap in the country or something like that? Like, it's crazy. I hear that word so much. I'm like, why do we love 10K?
Yeah, definitely lowballing, because you just don't want to fail. You don't want to come at the end of the year and be like, I only got 7,000, or you can far surpass that number. But the fact that 10K seems really doable, it seems really within reach. But like you need to have goals that stretch you. And so you just telling me what's up with 10K, it's just like, okay, one, I'm embarrassed now. Two,
no, I'm not gonna, I promise you I'm not. Because what I think is you have so much potential to do so much more. And it's like, I feel like even us as Black and brown people, I feel like because of our circumstances which we come from, that our expectations we set is just based off those circumstances, where it's like, man, listen, you can have the world, fam. You can limit yourself to 10K, like say 30. That way, if you land on 22, It's like, all right, I'm still straight. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, man, ain't from the moon, man.
Right. See, everybody needed Tremaine. Everybody needed Tremaine.
Listen, man, I deal with that dynamic within the family, though. I think that's kind of why they be like, don't tell him what you're trying to do, because he's going to mess around. And it's like, I'm just trying to inspire.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to inspire. That's all. It's like, you said, new year, new me. Okay, what's going on? What you doing right now, to mold yourself into the new you?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Tremaine with a super new you, not just a new you, a super new you.
Why not? You only get one life.
You are so right. You are so right. Yep.
So it's like, for anybody listening, it's like, if you got the goal that you have, outline it and start taking them baby steps, fam. If you don't take anything from this pod, just know that both of us started doing baby steps. I identified I wanted to buy a property. I did not buy a property the next day. I worked on my credit the next day. You know what I mean? Yep. She identified she wanted a property. She did not buy a property the next day. She identified how much she needed to save and started to be along that journey of saving to get the property.
Exactly. Yep, for sure. And the other thing is I just need to, trust myself more. Like my husband and I, we do own 3 units in Philly that we're doing burrs. He's mostly running that. I
know what a burr is.
Oh, that's when you buy, rehab, what is it? Refinance and rent.
Yep.
And, so basically you buy a property, you fix it up, you hold on to it and you rent it. And you can, most times people do a cash out refi and take out the money that they invested. And then they hold on to the property for cash flow as a rental. So that's our goal with those 3 properties. So he basically, ran with it. He's the one that manages it. And I just give my input every so often. But my goal is to have my own project that I'm doing myself, because I learn better that way, for one. And 2, it'll help me to, have another skill set to offer to my, to the people that I consult with. So for a long time, I was like really afraid to do it, because I was like, one, it's really hard out here for women to have the contractors, which is usually men, to respect them and to, want to work with them in a way that they do with men. But I was just like, I need to get over that, because I work in a male-dominated industry, which is, IT, and I'm killing it there. So I'm going to kill it there too, Thanks. And the other thing is, and then my other goal was I'm going to become a mortgage broker. So that's something as well, because a lot of times when I have my consultations with people and they're like, how do I start? How do I, buy a unit? I want to go a step further and say, okay, now that you got the information, if you're ready, let's do that pre-approval. Let me tell you what products is out here that we can get you into that property. So I want to be able to be of service more in my business to individuals. So I have to step out of my comfort zone. I don't need to become a mortgage broker, but I want to, because I want to guide you in the right direction. I want to make sure that you're not getting a predatory loan. I want to make sure that you're, maximizing your down payment. I want you to be knowledgeable about everything that you're doing and not just signing on the dotted line. So it's important to have those goals that stretch you. And so, you helped me tweak my goal a little bit. So thanks for that.
Yeah, sure. And that's what we're here to do, man. We just want to inspire you guys that's listening to, there's nothing wrong with starting off with a goal, but you got to start off with the first step before you hit that goal. And there's no problem with starting, man. That's the whole thing. You just want to start and just, make actionable steps towards it, man. I got a lot I want to do for myself. And I feel like every year I don't hit every goal I identify, but I can look back at it and be like, okay, I started, I got some momentum. Take Nina, for example. She might want to reach her following to 30,000. She might be at 18,000, but she can live with saying that, hey, I took actions to go along to be on my way. And that's all it's about. You're not going to hit it in one day, but you can be on your way after one day. So.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So let's talk about how, you do set those goals up for yourself and you want to, do all the things, but is there anything that happened in your journey that made you second guess, why did I do this? Why did I decide to do this?
The only thing that made me second guess was talking to people that didn't understand my vision. Because sometimes you'll be saying something, I might say, I want a house that costs $700,000. They be like, that's $3,800 a month. You'd be like, damn, that is $3,800 a month. What was I thinking? And it's like, when you think about it in summary, it's like, if I'll talk to the right person, one of my brothers, man, Jamal, he kind of got along the same vision to me. I say that. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, bet, bro. That's only $3,800.
Right.
Like, but that's the difference with who you speak to as far as how you feel about your goals. So sometimes it's like, man, don't even tell people, just work on them. Like, I don't tell certain people, I won't tell you what I'm trying to do because I only got time for your rational judgment, because I think irrational. And the other thing I need time for is rationality. Like, wait, you're going to quit your job to do? Yes, I'm going to quit my job to do so and so. And it's like, if you can't understand, I'm not even going to tell you what's going on. So that's my only regret, telling people that don't understand where I'm trying to go with it, about where I'm trying to go with it.
Yeah, that's a huge one. When a person, when you share big lofty goals like that, people that can't even fathom it, they're just like, what are you doing that for? That, they project their fear onto you. Like I was talking about wanting to, own a laundromat, and people in my DMs, it was like, oh my God, why would you want to do that? People gonna rob it, this and that. And I was like, I mean, they can try, but that's what insurance is for. And I know that it's a great business. So why would I, discount myself just because of things that could potentially happen? It's like, I'm doing my risk analysis, and to me, it's still up. So I'm still going to do it. And you're just savvy about your decision, just like you would be anything. But I've noticed that when I talk about big lofty things, like in my stories, I posted I want to buy a building. It's almost $1 million. And they're like, oh my God, you got it like that? Or that's so much money and I'm just like, the fact of the matter is, one, I'm buying this property super cheap. I'm leveraging, only buying it for 3.5% down. Where else can you get into a business and just have to put that much down to own it, right? And then I was like, it's a new building. They're commanding $2,600 for rent. So just 1.5 rent payments covers the mortgage. And I was just like, it would be crazy for me not to even try, because somebody got in my ear and was like, oh my God, that's so much money. What if the tenants don't pay, blah, 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 blah. It's like, scared money don't make no money. So I want to make all the money. So I'm just going to, take my calculated risk and make it happen. And then the other thing that I found is some things you just can't share with people, because then they think that you're bragging, which is not. It's just like, we're just trying to share, what our goals are, and, how we think of the opportunity and that we want to go for it. Sometimes, I keep a lot of things to myself when it comes to, acquaintances, because, one, I don't want you trying to discourage me. And then two, I don't want you to think that I'm, trying to flex or anything like that. So that's how I've been handling it. And then the other thing, I don't know if it's the same thing with you and your friends or family. They'll just be like, oh yeah, that worked out for you because it's you. And I just feel like, I don't understand what that means.
And I made it work. That's all I would come down to it, man. Like, listen, I made it work. I think a lot of times I get that because just a little backstory. Out of all my siblings, I'm the only one. I was the first one to graduate high school, and I'm the middle child, and the only one to go to college. So I'm seeing this like the golden child or something like, or they think I'm like a genius. So it's like anything I do, of course you did it. You a genius. Something. It's like, nah, fam, it's work. I'm not gonna let perceiving me discredit the work I put in.
Exactly.
So it's just like, I don't honestly, I really don't be caring that deep, man. It's like, you think I'm rich, he think I'm poor, and this racist person might think I'm something else. I can't care about either of the three. All I gotta do is think about what I see when I look in the mirror. So that's my whole thing, man. As long as I can sleep good at night, I don't care what else is going on as far as perception goes. But it's true though. It's true. That helps us a lot. Like, I might talk to somebody that's like, they might talk to me about their goals. We get off a conversation, they got momentum, but then they're gonna talk to three other people that don't understand where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And they discouraged, like, well, Tremaine said I can do it, but my other three friends, they just said, his uncle did the same thing and it didn't work. It's like, well, that's his uncle.
Exactly.
I don't know what his
exactly. Yep. And that's something I really hate when I talk to people and they say, well, because I always try to tell people about NACA, not just, consultation, people, clients, but just people even at work. This, one of my friends, he was like, he wanted to get into the space. And I was like, you should go with NACA. And he's like, oh, my friend did that and they never responded to any emails and that program is crap. And I'm like, no, it's not. You don't know what your friend was doing when they was applying. They probably wasn't following up and they just told you that because they didn't do any follow through. I was like, you have to figure out things for yourself. That's the only way you're going to move forward in this life. If you go by the people that you hang with and they not, and they don't have the same goals, you're going to be in the same place. They always say that you're the sum of the 5 closest people to you. If that's true, and the 5 people around you ain't got nothing going on, you're not going to have nothing going on. That's facts.
Move around, fam.
Yep.
Straight up, just move around. Like, no, that's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. It's like, when you evaluate your goals, evaluate your circle. Like, my friends are really like my brothers because, the reason how they are is because I'm able to be honest with them as if they family. And we all can be honest with each other. Like, hey, bro, I don't think you should do this, bro. Tighten up. Or, hey, bro, you trying to get that building, bro? Is you serious? Have you looked into the lender? Have you called them back? And it's like, you gotta have a relationship with the people you keep close to them. Otherwise, your circle gonna be weak. And who want to be the only paid one in your circle? Who want to be the only vacation? It's like, after a while, you start taking that stuff personally. Like, yo, I'm the only one doing this. It's like, no, I want all my friends and family to be up because now we can all pay the bill. It ain't everybody's looking at one person like, oh, Jay, you got it, right? Like, nah. We need to all be putting our cards out. Like, no, I got it. That's how you build your circle, and just walk the knowledge and game. So definitely, if you got a goal that you're thinking about doing, look at your circle too. Like, okay, did anybody in my circle done it, doing it, trying to do it, encouraging me to do it? Or is it just a whole bunch of, oh, that ain't work for my uncle or my so-and-so tried this? It's like, them the people you need to be around, honestly.
Exactly. Yep. So true. So I actually had a question. So I know that you want to buy more properties. Are you interested in any partnerships?
It gotta be with the right person. A lot of times it ain't even a partnership. It's just somebody with money telling you what to do. And I'm not with that. Like, I gotta be able to get along with you to where I can keep it honest with you, good or bad, and you gotta be able to take what come with that. A lot of times people, oh, you in a good market, I could put the money for the deal. You just handle everything. It's like, no, I'm not just handling everything.
Right.
Some stuff you're gonna have to handle too. It's not gonna just be passive for you, then 100% work on my end. So
but then they want the 50-50 cut. They want the 50-50 cut, but they don't want to do the 50-50.
You got to deal with the crazy tenants. You got to deal with the renovations. You got to deal with putting somebody in there. You got to deal with the contractors not showing up. But I just want the check, though. It's like, no, it don't work like that. So it would have to be the right person under the right circumstances. But I wouldn't say I'm not open to it. I am. It just has to be the right person. But I'm not that thirsty for a check to where I'm like, okay, I know it wouldn't work, but you got the money, so let's try it out. Like, nah.
Yeah, that's a heavy load. I get a lot of people that ask me, even strangers, like since I started, posting about, buying property and stuff like that, people hit me up and they're just like, oh, are you taking investments and stuff like that? And I'm just like, first of all, you shouldn't be trying to give a stranger on the internet money. You don't even know me. You don't know nothing about me. That's one. Two, you need to do your due diligence so you know what's going on. Because if I was that person, I could be like, yeah, I'm taking investments. Let's do a syndication. I can send you some bogus paperwork that no lawyer has taken a look at, get you to wire me some money and just disappear, And it's just like, people just want the easy way out. They're just like, oh, if I just invest, then I could just, come up like her or come up like him. And it's just like, no, you need to put in the work. You need to, know what you're doing. You need to get the knowledge. And two, you need to not be so trusting. Because that was like really, that was really eye-opening for me in terms of just social media in general, how people are so trusting of the things that they see. And it's just like, where is your common sense? You don't know me from Adam. I could be a Chinese person living in China and just using this person's information to make posts. And it's just like, my goal is to educate you and help you execute. But I don't want to do everything for you. And I don't want you to be, just so open just to send me money to, yeah, you do it and I, get 50%. Nope. Because if you're not willing to put in the footwork and say, let's do this 50-50, we'll start up a property management company together. Me and you will partner and we'll do it together. That's just showing me that, one, your work ethic is really questionable for me. I don't want to get into a situation where, your expectation is 50-50 and I'm doing 70-80% of the work. Because then if that's the case, if I decide to go into business with you, the split will be 80-20. The split will be 70-30. So, and people don't want to hear that. They're like, no, I gave you my money. I want 50%. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
A great point. One thing to watch out for everybody in 2022 is if there's something you're trying to do and you're following people within that profession, make sure they're really within that profession. If they got 70,000 followers and 40 likes on a video, I don't know if it's somebody you should really trust, man. If they got 80,000 followers and 6 comments, or their comments is limited, but they're selling something, I don't know if that's somebody you should follow. Right. Like, you have to be very methodical and diligent on the people you follow, especially if you're buying the information or you're paying them for information. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a very common trap. Somebody might, make a couple of videos, say this and that, buy 40,000 followers. You see 40,000 followers, you're like, oh, they got to be legit. But it's like, go into the details of it. See how many people watching his story. See how many people watching this live. Who's commenting? Are they just bots commenting, or is it real people that's commenting? Do we have testimonials?
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So it's like, 2022, you got your list of things you want to do, write them tasks down and just be very diligent on everything on all ends.
Right. And it's just critical for you to have some working knowledge about what you're trying to get into. Even if you do find someone that, is accepting partnerships and want to work with you, you still need to have the working knowledge. So, one, that you're not getting taken advantage of, two, that you're protecting your interests. I was on someone's page and they was talking about this gentleman. He owed like $3,900 to some company, some credit company. So somebody reached out to him because these scammers, they're getting smart. They're doing like credit checks and stuff like that. And when they find someone is delinquent, they'll reach out to them and be like, we'll take care of this if you send us, X amount of money in Bitcoin. The gentleman sent the money in Bitcoin and they disappeared. So I'm side-eyeing the person like, one, why didn't you just pay the bill? Like, pay the bill directly to the people. Why are you looking for an intermediary to pay your bill? And then they're asking for Bitcoin. I was like, the exposure in that story just made my mind just blow, because I'm just like, people cannot be that trusting and that gullible in this day and age.
If somebody calls you from a phone, I'm going to give you my tip on what I do to get scammers off my phone. I answer the phone as such. FBI speaking, how can I help you? They're going to hang up within 5 seconds if they're really a scammer. I'm telling you. You answer the phone and say FBI, police, anything, they're going to hang up because they don't want nothing to do with that. But we're going to wrap this podcast up because we had our end time. Please be sure to subscribe, comment, like, share. You can follow me at 9 to 5 Landlord. I'm Tremaine checking out.
And you can follow me at Zena Dixon Inc. And this is Zena checking out.
All right. Y'all have a good one, man. Be blessed.